Hey there! It's day 5. Today we decided to get up late and not try to get too much sightseeing done in the morning because we were pretty tired from yesterday. Caitlin and I are still both a little sick, not really sick, but just like coughing and have a stuffed up nose, so that's been kind of fun. And with as much traveling and fun things that we've been doing out in the rain and cold, it hasn't been healing, I think, as fast as it might have if we just stayed inside and rested. But that didn't stop us because Caitlin had tickets to go to St. Paul's Cathedral, which is this beautiful cathedral. I can actually see it from my view in my hotel. It's super old. It had a service going when we showed up at 12:30, which was really interesting to see all these people there just to hear a service. And we walked all around the main area of St. Paul's Cathedral. It's just huge. I don't think I've ever been in a cathedral, so this is the first for me. And it was gorgeous, really, really tall ceilings and very wide open area. And then it had this huge like dome up in the top that you could see from the first floor. It was all open. So we did a little tour of like the crypts, and then we went back upstairs, and then we realized that you could actually go up there to look down from like the dome area. So we walked over and we found where that was. But on the way I kind of got lightheaded and had to sit down because I hadn't eaten anything and I was getting kind of hot. So I sat down, and then we found the place to walk up the stairs to get to the viewing area of the dome, which is just this beautiful art display with sculptures and paintings. Really amazing. Was going to be 275 steps to the top. So we figured that out. That's about 21 stories of stairs to walk. And I had almost just passed out just from walking around on the first floor and the basement floor, but I didn't want to be a wimp, so I toughed it out and went all the way up to the viewing area. And it was worth it. It was a little scary up there, not gonna lie. It was pretty high up, and it was really interesting to hear the sermon from up there. You could even go farther up, but the stairs were much narrower. It was a little claustrophobic for me, and I was pretty much done with the walking up the stairs. I felt like the 275 was enough. Caitlin said that she's going to make Tom take her back there to do the rest of the stairs, so that'll be awesome. So after that, we decided to eat something because I was pretty run down and my legs were burning pretty hard from the 275 stairs. So we went to this just French bakery like across the street and had table service, even though it's Caitlin says it's normally not table service. And that was great. We both had chicken leek pies, which is sort of like a chicken pot pie, but it came with this little gravy on the side to put it on it. It was really good. Lots of vegetables, and it's really all I ate for the whole rest of the day. So it was a real good, like, stick to your ribs type of, you're going to be doing a lot of walking, traveling type meal. Then we decided, because we had time before our Harry Potter appointment, that we would go try and find platform 9 3/4 in King's Cross Station. And I had looked it up online, and it said that it was between platforms 4 and 5, and you had to walk around and find it. So we were walking around on platforms 4 and 5 and not seeing it. And then we're Googling and trying to figure it out. And then it says, oh, it's in the concourse. So we had passed it, I guess, or just not gotten to it. So we walked all the way back to find platform 9 3/4, and there it was. And there was a huge line. In Britain, they call it a queue. Not a line, but that's what it was. It was a line. And I was just like, let's just skip. waiting in line to have our picture taken there. It wasn't really worth it. I was like, well, maybe we should just go in the gift shop. But there was a queue for the gift shop too, so you couldn't even go in there. It was crazy. So we left and went and got our train to start going to Harry Potter, which is pretty far out there. It's in Hampstead, and not Hampstead, but it's way out there. And we had to get on a train, and the train takes about a half hour to get where you need to go, and then you got to get a bus from the train station that's specifically for the Harry Potter tour. And then once you're there, they make you walk around this big, like, line kind of area, and then there's another queue line. There's a lot of lines, a lot of waiting and walking to just get to Harry Potter. But once we were there, we got taken into this room, and they showed us a video, kind of told us the rules, and then they took us into a room that was like a cinema, and then showed us a little video with Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe talking about the movies and what we're about to see. And when it was done, it just like lifted up, and then there were the doors to the Great Hall, like right behind the movie theater cinema screen. So that was really neat. And then we all got to go into the Great Hall. I saw the Goblet of Fire. I saw all the different houses. They had costumes for all the different houses and all the different headmasters. It was really cool. I took so many pictures. Then after that, you kind of go into this area where they have all these little mini sets kind of around, and we probably spent the most time there. It was like probably an hour just kind of walking around and trying to see everything. There are just so many different little sets from the movies, everything from the common room to the potions room to Dolores Umbridge's office. There were so many cool little things in there. And one of my favorite things actually was, didn't like get the appeal that I thought it would, but it was just this fenced off like cage in the center of it all. And it's where the production crew had put their favorite props from the movies. And so it was just like this little cage, and it was full of all these different really cool props, including just tons of wands, the sign that said, where to go for Hogwarts. It even had a cup from Fantastic Beasts for bravery in the chained area. So it was really neat to kind of just look in there and try and figure out like what all the different things were. But the theme was Goblet of Fire. I guess every 6 to 12 months they changed the theme, so there were a lot of Goblet of Fire related attractions. And at the end of the first section with all the different little sets, they had an area where you could get your picture taken on a green screen, either on a broom, so they had a wind machine as well, and the broom moved, so you would lean in and make it look like you were flying. But then there was just this area where you could also just take your picture with a robe on, and they would put it on a wanted poster. So Caitlin and I decided to do that rather than wait in the longer line for the flying experience, since we probably weren't going to buy the video of us flying around. And we got a really cute picture of us, and it says, have you seen these wizards? And it's Caitlin and I. And for some reason, the guy knew and got me a Gryffindor shirt. Obviously, I'm wearing, Gryffindor everything, so that was pretty obvious. But Caitlin was not wearing anything, and he grabbed her a Hufflepuff shirt, so that was pretty funny. I am actually a Ravenclaw, but I don't have any Ravenclaw outfits, so this is what they get. And I thought it was really fun to be dressed up there, and a lot of people were, so I didn't feel weird. And I don't really think this outfit is too crazy, so it worked out. One thing I will say is that it made it super easy to take pictures there because the lighting was fantastic. It was studio lighting everywhere, so everywhere you went, you looked great. You looked like, 20 years younger. Anyway, we sent a picture to my mom, and she was like, you guys look like teenagers, so that's how good the lighting was. Then we also got some butterbeer. There's a butterbeer and butterbeer ice cream stop. So my sister got the ice cream and I got the butterbeer, and it was fabulous. I'm really glad that I got that and tried it. It's basically like butterscotch soda with like a little foamy cream on the top. And it was kind of interesting because they had it all staged back there. So you could tell that the butterbeer, like the butterscotch soda, is just like they pour that in first. And then as people order it, they just top it off with that like foamy cream from this machine. It's really neat. And I was just glad it was small because it was super rich, like really sweet. After that, we were pretty tired. We went through the whole Harry Potter experience. It took us about 2.5 hours or so to get through the entire thing. I think we probably could have spent longer there if we had used our like digital guides more and actually listened to every little detail about everything, but we saw a lot of stuff and I felt like we did a good job. I would like to go back when they changed the theme from Goblet of Fire to something else. That would be really cool. And then we just decided to call it a night, and I took the tube and the train back to my hotel. And now I'm here. I ordered some room service, so I ate that, except for the soup. I'm letting that chill. And then I got my cocktail, so I'm just gonna chill out and relax. And honestly, I'm looking forward to having a lazy day tomorrow of just working, which is super easy compared to the craziness that my life has been the past few days. So cheers to that.